Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Best Pizza Shop. Today we're going to be building something that will completely change how you make pizza at home. It's called a pizza steel. But before we start cutting some metal and seasoning it, let's talk about why you need a pizza steel. Because if you've only ever made pizza on a sheet pan or maybe a baking stone, you might not realize what you're missing. Here's the problem with home ovens. Traditional New York style pizza ovens cook at a minimum of 600 to 650 degrees. Neapolitan ovens, they're even higher at 800-900. Your home oven probably tops out at about 500 or 550 degrees. That temperature gap is the entire challenge of home pizza making. When you slide raw dough into a commercial pizza oven, it hits an extremely hot surface that immediately transfers intense heat to the bottom of the dough. That instant heat transfer is what gives you proper oven spring, airy crumb, crisp undercarriage, the leopard spotting, and the structure, aka the flop. In a home oven, you don't naturally have that kind of heat transfer, so you need something to mimic it. That's where stones first came in. For years, pizza stones were the go-to solution. They're usually made of ceramic. They absorb heat and help make a bottom better crust, and they absolutely work. But stones have limitations. They can crack under thermal shock. They take a long time to recharge between pizzas, and they don't transfer heat as aggressively as steel, which leads us to this evolution. Pizza steels became popular in the 2010s, especially among home pizza makers trying to replicate that New York style in a home oven. The idea is simple. Steel conducts heat far more efficiently than stone. It transfers energy into the dough faster and more aggressively. That means faster oven spring, better char, stronger bottom structure, and more consistent bakes. In many ways, a steel acts like a mini deck oven surface in your oven. And I promise you, once you try it, it's very hard to go back. For the type of pizza I make, high hydration, long cold fermentation, New York leaning styles, the steel gives me a structured bottom that can support heavy toppings, a consistent undercarriage, faster bake times, and better repeatability. It's not magic, it's physics. Steel is simply a better heat conductor. Now here's where it gets very interesting. I had a custom steel that I built for my home oven, but I recently installed a new to me oven over there in my garage because I was constantly punishing this oven being at 550 degrees for 4 or 5 hours a week, week in and week out. And unfortunately, the old steel for this oven does not fit into the new oven. So today we're building a new one. If you make pizza at home every week like I do, you're gonna start to wonder, am I shortening the lifespan of this thing? Why does it smell like hot electronics? Is this normal? So instead of continuing to destroy my home oven, I'm going to destroy my garage oven. Before we go any further, thank you for watching. If you find my pizza making content useful, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you don't miss future pizza making experiments. All right, let's build this thing. So the first thing you might ask is, why am I building my own pizza steel when I can buy them online? There are two main reasons why I didn't buy mine online. One, standard pizza steels are too small for my liking. Most pizza steels you can buy online are 14 to 16 inches. I'm striving for a 17, 18 inch pie minimum. And when you're sliding them in, there's no margin for error on a 16 inch steel. I'm striving to maximize the space in my oven. I want to comfortably make at least a 16 inch pie. So instead of limiting myself to what I'm able to buy online, I'm going to maximize the space in my oven so I can make the biggest pizza possible. That extra space matters. Reason number two is cost. For perspective, the Dough Guy's 16 inch pizza steel costs $119.99. How much for my custom steel? $85.99. It's larger, custom fit, bigger pizzas, and less money. That alone makes this worth it. So the first thing you need to think about when you're making a pizza steel is where to source the steel. When you go to buy steel, you normally see two options: hot rolled steel and cold rolled steel. Hot rolled steel is generally less expensive because it requires fewer finishing steps during manufacturing. For pizza making, there's no meaningful difference between the two types. So hot rolled steel made the most sense from a value perspective. The next thing you need to consider is the thickness of the steel. The thicker the steel, the more heat it retains, the more stable your bake will be, and the better it will perform on back-to-back pizzas. It's also less likely to warp, but it gets heavy, it costs more, and it becomes harder to move. So you need to balance performance and practicality. If you're making multiple pizzas in a row like I do, thicker is better. The next step was measuring the oven. You need to measure carefully. I measured interior width, interior depth, and then the rail spacing, which could impact the thickness. Here's the key. I wanted the pizza steel to fit directly where the rack would go, not on the rack. Why? Because the oven rack curves in the back, so the pizza steel wouldn't be able to sit flat on it. So if I put the steel directly on the rack, I'm going to lose depth. By resting the steel directly on the rails, I maximize usable surface area, I get a cleaner fit, and I get extra space for launching those pizzas. So where did I get this steel, you might ask? I purchased my steel from Metal Supermarket. They were super friendly and helpful. It's the second time I've bought from them. From what I found, they have over 100 locations throughout the United States. So if you're doing this like I did, hopefully you'll be able to find one near you. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out. They do mention on their website that their cuts can be a fraction of an inch off. So the first thing I did when I got home was tested that steel in the oven. Fortunately, I did not have any issues. Next up, we need to clean and season the steel. Now this is a step you'd have to do if you bought a commercial pizza steel right off the internet. So at this point, you might as well just make it yourself. Raw steel from a warehouse is not food grade safe out of the gate. It's dirty, it's oily, there's residue from manufacturing and storage. So I thoroughly clean my pizza steel with Dawn and hot water. Scrub it well, then dry it completely. Moisture is the enemy of raw steel. It will rust very quickly. Now this next step you absolutely cannot skip. You must season your steel. Raw steel will rust, stick to your dough, react with moisture and acid. Seasoning it solves that. When you coat steel with oil and heat it, the oil undergoes a process called polymerization. It chemically transforms into a hardened bonded layer on the surface of the steel. This does three critical things. It prevents rust, it creates a natural non-stick surface, and it improves heat performance. When seasoning the steel, you need to choose an oil that has a high smoke point. Olive oil is too low, it'll burn. I use sunflower oil because it handles the high temperatures well. So I lightly coated both sides of the steel with sunflower oil, wiping off the excess. Thin layers are key. I baked it around 450 degrees for an hour, let it cool completely, and then repeated the process 2 more times. 3 total cycles. After that third round, you're going to see that steel be really dark. That's good. That's your protective surface forming. Now comes the most important operational step, preheating the steel. I preheat my steel for a minimum of an hour, minimum. Steel takes time to fully saturate with heat, not just the surface, but the entire core. If you rush it, you'll get pale bottoms. If you rush it, you'll get pale bottoms. If you rush it, you'll get pale bottoms and inconsistent char. So this is gonna be the moment of truth. I'm gonna launch this pizza directly on the steel. In about 7 minutes, boom, done. But here's something important. Keep an eye on the bottom. Steel transfers heat aggressively. If I notice the bottom setting too fast, I'll either transfer the pizza to a screen or to a lower rack onto a pizza stone. That gives me the control over the final bake and prevents burning. The steel's powerful, but you have to manage it. All right, time for that moment of truth. So what do you think? Was it worth building a steel? Absolutely. Bigger surface, custom fit, less money, more flexibility. And honestly, there's something very satisfying about building your own equipment. It's garage pizza lab energy. This is taking control of the craft. There's a moment of truth. So what's your experience with pizza steels? Have you purchased one? Have you made one? If you decide to make one, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how the process went. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear about how it turns out. If you have anything that you can share to help me make it even better, please share that with me as well. If you found this video useful, please like it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I got a lot more coming in this new pizza oven garage era. I'll see you in the next one.